Hello student, in last class we have attended some question from the exercise 5.1. So 2-3 are remain, so that only we are going to be conclude over here. And the next point we are going to discuss today is the modulus and the argument regarding the given complex number. So that we will discuss later on, but before that we complete the question based on multiplicative inverse and somewhat simplest form. So as a reference I have completed or I attended one question in which a multiplicative inverse we have evaluated in last class. So let's try to understand more detail regarding the evaluation of a multiplicative inverse. So here question number 12 is available as a z is equal to under root of 5 plus 3i. Here you can say value of a is root 5 whereas value of b is 3. Now here first of all we will find out the value for a square plus b square, that means 5 plus 9 means it is your 14. Now we will write a multiplicative inverse for your given z. So that is z inverse. So formula form we have written as a upon a square plus b square minus ib upon a square plus b square. So substitute all the values over here. That will be under root 5 upon a square plus b square means 14 minus b means 3i upon 14. So this is a multiplicative inverse for given z form. Here in the next question only one term is available, that is the imaginary part. So let's try to understand with the single term how to handle the situation. This is your minus I. Now here you can say your a is not available, means a is your 0, whereas b is written as a minus 1. What the multiple of your iota term is available, that you will treat as a b. Now find out a square plus b square. So obviously it is a 1 only. So write z inverse means multiplicative inverse. So it will be your a this is you have to write with the combined form. A means the 0, b means minus 1 means minus already minus 1 into iota upon 1. So minus minus plus means iota only, you will have it's a multiplicative inverse. So this way with a single term you can handle the situation with evaluation as a multiplicative inverse. Now the last question of this exercise is available. We have to convert the given expression in form of the standard, that means a plus iota b. So let's try to understand what your expression form is available. Now here the expression is available as 3 plus iota under root 5 into 3 minus iota under root 5. In denominator it is under root 3 plus under root 2 iota minus under root 3 minus under root 2 iota. Now let it sort out as per the combination available. In numerator you can see two brackets are available with the same numerical value, only in between the signs are changed. One is available with plus, another is available with minus. Means your question form is available in numerator position as a plus b and a minus b. So here it will generate a formula as a square minus b square form. So this will be your 3 square minus iota under root 5 whole square. Whereas here we are going to multiply this negative sign to both. So under root of 3 plus under root 2 iota minus under root 3 minus plus under root 2 iota. This is cancelled. This 3 square means 9. This is your 5 iota square over under root 2 means 2 under root 2 iota. This iota square will be minus 1. So this is 9 plus 5 upon 2 under root 2 iota. Means it is your 14 upon 2 under root 2 iota. This you can make it cancel. So this is 7 upon under root 2 iota. Now here these two surds as well as iota is not allowed here. So one by one we will make it replace. So first of all multiply and divide by iota. So iota square will give you minus sign over here. So this is minus 7 upon under root 2. Secondly, this third is also not allowed. So multiply and divide by root 2 over here. So that will give you minus 7 iota under root 2 already available, under root 2 upon root 2. So this will give you minus 7 under root 2 iota upon 2. So this is the final answer form we are having as a standard form. Now this is to be expressed as a plus ib form. So how it will be? A plus ib form. That will be your 0 minus 7 under root 2 by 2 iota. So this is the standard form what we are having over here. So this was all about the evaluation of the given expression in form of the standard form, that is a plus iota b. Now the new things we are going to introduce here is a Argand diagram and the polar representation of any of the complex numbers. So try to understand what the meaning of these two terms and how it will be linked with the solution regarding your given complex number. So first of all, with the help of one diagram, we try to understand how any of the complex number can be represented graphically and how on basis of that polar form we can generate. Relate to the polar form, one more term is associate, that is your absolute value and argument regarding the given complex number. So what the meaning of the argument, what is the meaning of the absolute solution, that we are going to be understand over here. Now first of all we talk about the Argand diagram. And polar form of a complex number, and then we will discuss about the argument regarding the given complex number. Now in order to understand what the Argand diagram, as in a normal case, any of the point we represent on a graph as per the quadrant position. First, second, third, fourth, that everybody know in detail. So as any of the point you are going to represent or locate that particular point in a graphical presentation. So in the same manner, if any of the complex number that normally we express in this form, or in the beginning of this chapter I told you in terms of ordered pair also, any of the complex number you can represent. So this way, if this point x comma y, if you represent on a graph, it is known as the Argand diagram. So because of the complex number you are going to represent on a graph, it is called it as Argand diagram. So x and y both are carrying positive solution. So here anywhere this point you can represent. Now the next thing is the polar form regarding the Argand diagram. So that we try to understand what its polar form is. Suppose here we are having any of the point P which represent by x and y, that normally we have written in a complex form. Here from the origin to this point, distance we have covered is your r. Okay, x, it means what? If you make a vertical line over here from origin to this point you can take it as a. So OA, you can say this is your x. This is PA, you can say this is your y vertical height. So you can see, if this altitude you have drawn, or perpendicular you have drawn on the x-axis, this length covered is y, and foot of the perpendicular from the origin is covered is a distance x. Now because of this altitude, you can say this is a right angle triangle, and here you can implement a trigonometry. So this angle in positive direction of x formed by this OP, we can take it as a theta, and in our normal language this theta we will call it as your argument, means the angle which is formed in between x-axis with positive direction and the point which are going to be joined to the origin. So this P point will be located as per the position of your complex number, and P point, if you join to the origin with the positive direction of x, what the angle we are going to form, that is to be called as theta, and in language it will be called argument. So that theta will be changed as per the position of your complex number. How it will be changed, we will discuss later on. So first of all, we try to find out the polar form of a complex number. When you are talking about a polar form, means in form of r and theta somewhat you are going to be defined. So here, as we are talking in the triangle POA, your measurement of angle POA we are going to take as a theta, as a OP, and your this OA, you can say, are perpendicular to each other, or you can say these are the lines. Okay, now here, as they are the perpendicular, or in form of the measurement of angle also you can write, that is PAO is a 90 degree. So in this triangle, if you are talking about, first we just talk about this x evaluation and relate with this r, because this position is fixed with respect to this point in your whole diagram. So here, as we are talking about the base with respect to this theta, it will be considered as a base. This will be the altitude, and this is your hypotenuse. So here, in this triangle, cos of theta you will define as a x upon r, or here you can say x is a r cos of theta. Secondly, if you talk about this altitude and this one, so this is your sin theta, means y upon r. So here it will be y is r sin of theta. So this x and y, if you represent in form of r and theta, these are called the polar coordinate, and in place of this z, in this z, x and y replaced by this r, this is called the polar form for complex number. So here, x comma y you can write as r cos of theta and r sin of theta. Second thing, this is the polar form of a complex number, means z is equal to x plus iota y. X, it was what? R cos of theta plus iota r sin of theta. From here r we can take it common. So what will you have? Cos of theta plus iota sin of theta. So this is known as the polar form for a complex number. So whenever there is a talk of a polar form, you have to write down the value for r and theta in this form. Now how to find out your r for given complex number? For evaluation of r, what you are having here? X is r cos of theta whereas y as a r sine of theta. Make them square and add both the side. On squaring and adding both sides, what will you have? X square plus r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta, and here you will have y square also. So x square plus y square, r square common, cos square theta plus sin square theta. So finally r square you will have as x square plus y square, or r you can say as a under root of x square plus y square. So this way r you can evaluate for evaluation of your x or y value or whatever else it will be required. So this r is called as the modulus value for given complex number. In last class also I was talking about the modulus form, so that we have written as modulus of z, that we have written is under root of a square plus y square. So here we are having the same form but in form of x and y. So this way you can write your modulus either in form of AB or in form of x and y. So here two things are clear. First thing is a theta. Theta means the argument and the modulus form of a complex number. So in this whole discussion, what are the important things? First thing is a xy in terms of r and sine. Secondly, this is the polar form for a complex number. And the third thing is the evaluation of the modulus, that is in terms of r. So these three things are important over here from theoretical point of view. Now as we are talking frequently argument, modulus is clear. If z is available, its real part and imaginary part, you will make it square and add and take the square root, it will give you the modulus solution. Now the next thing we are going to find out argument with the different combination, means with the different combination regarding your x and y. So the next is argument of each complex number. Here various type of combination you may have. So first of all type of combination we will discuss and then we will go for a particular case. Its theoretical concept is quite long as compared to the question frame. So the next point we are going to discuss is arguments of a complex number. So normally argument means theta, I told you. First of all you have to look at the range for theta, means this theta should lie in between minus pi to pi, and equality sign also you will have over there. Now what will be the different situation regarding the theta that we are going to be discussed. First let z is equal to x plus iota y, it is a normal case. So first condition we take when z is available in this form and y is equal to 0, means z is containing only real part. So at that time what will happen? Regarding your x, two situation may be rise, that first one, x may be greater than 0. So at that time your theta will turn to 0. How to evaluate the theta? That already we have discussed. Your cos theta will be x upon r whereas the sine theta will be y upon r. Now with the same situation, if your x is less than 0, so at that time your theta will turn to pi. So this is to be keep in your mind. Second thing, if your z is equal to x plus iota y, and if x turn to 0, it may be possible that your z is available only with the imaginary part. So this y may contain again two type of combination, greater than 0 or less than 0. So for both theta is fixed, so that only we are going to be right. Here in this first case, y is greater than 0, so at that time theta you will mention is pi by 2 without making any of the evaluation. Second thing, if y is less than 0, if you substitute all this value in your cos theta and sin theta, you will get the same type of combination. Theta you will get as minus pi by 2. So these are the standard form what we are having. Now the next, in these two cases, one combination was 0, means either we are having imaginary part as a 0 or is a real part as a 0. Now the third category in which both are present means Z consists of both the parts, real part as well as the imaginary part, but with the positive or negative sign. So how it is to be evaluated? So third case, let Z is equal to x plus iota y. Now here in this case, first of all we will find out R by using this formula form x square plus y square. Now secondly we will find out cos of alpha as a modulus of x upon r and sine of alpha as a modulus of y upon r. Here with respect to this cos alpha and sine alpha, we will define common alpha angle, means this alpha will lie in between 0 to pi by 2. So 0 to 90 as a common angle, alpha will be defined over here. Now here four situations may be rise. First one is x and y both are positive quantity. So at that time theta you will write same as alpha. This is the main part of this question. How it is to be implemented on basis of one example, it will clear to you. Second thing, when x is carrying negative value, y is carrying positive solution. X negative means, cos negative means you are in the second quadrant. So at that time theta you will have as a pi minus alpha. Alpha will be remain common and evaluation of alpha will also be based on these two type of combination. Third is x and y both are less than 0. So at that time theta you will have as minus pi plus alpha. It is with respect to your third quadrant. This was your first quadrant. This is the second. This is the third. Now the last one, when x is greater than 0 and your y is less than 0, so at that time theta you will evaluate as a minus alpha, means it is with respect to the fourth quadrant. So this way, as per the condition you are having or as per the sign you are having with respect to x and y, you can define your theta, and this theta you will consider as a argument. So these all points are very important before you go for writing your argument. So I repeat how to make it, find it out, and for that one example also I am going to take, so you will be quite clear. But before that you try to understand what we are going to be right. So let's discuss with from the beginning. Z is equal to x plus iota y, that is the standard form what you will have. First case, when question is available in the standard form and y is equal to 0, means it contain only real part. It depends upon two type of values. X is greater than 0 means positive. So at that time theta you will write as 0. X is less than 0 means negative, means theta you will write as pi. Second point, when Z consists of only imaginary part, X is equal to 0, Y will contain two type of solution, positive or negative. When Y is containing positive solution, theta you will have as a pi by 2. When Y is containing negative solution, theta you will have as a minus pi by 2. Third and the important case, when your Z consists of both type of numbers, real as well as imaginary, R you will have as under root x square plus y square. So at that time, first of all, common angle you will evaluate by using this cos and sin formula. Cos alpha you will have as a absolute of x upon r. Sin you will have as a absolute of y upon r. Compulsory alpha will lie in between 0 to pi by 2. Now, decision about the argument here you will take on basis of sign of x and y. So x is greater than or y is greater than means you will talk about the first coordinate system. Theta you will replace by alpha itself, means both the angles are same. Secondly, if your x is negative, y is positive, at that time you are in the second quadrant. So theta you will have as a pi minus alpha. If both are negative means you are in the third quadrant. Third quadrant angle you will not represent as a pi plus alpha because you are restricted to this range regarding your theta. That's why this type of combination you will introduce. And the last one, x is positive, y is negative, means theta you will write as a minus alpha form. So these all are the important one from the evaluation point of view regarding your argument. So let's try to find out one argument value. So just take one question from your exercise. Now we take first question itself from your next exercise. Your first question, Z is available with this. So first of all, what is your workout? To find out R. So here you can say x is minus 1 means less than 0. Y is minus under root 3 means also less than 0. So first we will evaluate R over here as a minus 1 square plus minus under root 3 square. This is 1 plus 3 means 4, that is 2. Now we will find out cos alpha and sin alpha. So cos alpha we will have as a modulus of x upon r means 1 upon 2. Whereas sin alpha you will have as under root 3 upon 2, or formula if you want to write you can y upon r means under root 3 upon 2. If you look at these two values, common angle with respect to sin and cos, you will find it out as a 60 degree. At sin 60, under root 3 by 2 will generate, as cos 60 1 by 2 means combined form you will discuss about and find out the common solution. So here alpha we are having as a 60 degree means pi by 3. So this is the value, modulus value 2 with the alpha pi by 3. Now we have to find out its argument value. Here x is negative, y is also negative. So as x is less than 0, y is also less than 0. So at that time theta you will evaluate as minus pi plus alpha, or in our case you can say minus pi plus pi by 3. Make it sort out on taking the LCM. So minus 3 pi plus pi by 3. This is your minus 2 pi by 3. So here your argument is minus 2 pi by 3 with r is equal to 2. So these are the two evaluation it was being asked in your question. So argument theta you will evaluate on basis of the point what already we have listed out. So till the next lecture you try to find out somewhat solution for given question in this exercise based on the given theoretical point. I will continue with the same in next class. Thank you.